I'm delighted to speak about this service that was a beginning really of an idea to just have a Seasons of Creation service, as had been promulgated throughout our country starting on September 1st. And then people liked it so much, and they liked using our own Anne and Jeffery Rowthorn's text, God's Good Earth, that they said just keep going. So we thought, well, we'll go till Thanksgiving, because by Thanksgiving it'll start to get cold. And then because at that point we were closed for indoor worship, people really were missing the opportunity to get together, and we could not safely do that indoor, and we just kept going. And then at one of the clergy calls this fall, one of our bishops, I believe, was quoted as saying, "There's no bad weather, only poor clothing choices." So being a lover of wardrobe myself, I thought, I can do this. I've lived in Vermont, this is Connecticut. So we just kept going, and there have been some exceptions, but only one time at this point did we have to cancel due to inclement weather. The text is so appropriate, the setting, and we want.
Well, being outside for this and for walks in the country, for hikes, has just given me even more of an awareness of God's gifts to us that are there. We just have to be aware of them and just make the effort sometimes to see what's around us, because God's gifts are there. And this just is one of those gifts that I've enjoyed, this creation service.
You don't have to be in church to worship. You can be anywhere you need to be, or where you have to be, or and the community is very special.
The melody of the soul freely flowing through the earth and gathering all the beloved into one magnificent song of creation. The heavens are telling the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims his handiwork. Day by day, day to day pours forth speech, and night to night declares knowledge. There is no speech, nor are there words. Their voice is not heard. Yet their voice goes out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world.
Can I claim to love a morning if I don't protect what creates its beauty? Can I claim to love a child if I don't use all the power of my beating heart to preserve a world that nourishes children's joy? Loving is not a kind of la-di-da. Loving is a sacred trust.
Please join me in prayers of praise and thanksgiving. Love all of God's creation, the whole of it and every grain of sand. Love every leaf, every ray of God's light. Love the animals, love the plants, love everything. Amen.
I took the class 2 years ago with the Rowthorns, and so it's a nice continuity. And during this time of COVID, not being able to gather in the church is sort of a hole in our lives, and this really fills it. I find it just lovely.
It's quite wonderful, more seriously perhaps, that having prepared the book over 4 years, we now find it being used week by week in exactly the way we had in mind, and we are thrilled. And there's a pride of ownership, I suppose, but to see this dozen of people coming week by week and finding the prayers and the praises speak to them, and all of that is undergirded by the lovely setting.
I'll just say, honestly, I think, number one, I think that Anita has a genius for picking just the right liturgy for the particular day, the particular season of the church year, or the national season. And being in God's first cathedral helps to bring all the words to life. And so we are thrilled that the season of creation just continues.
The service has most affected my life is that it's reminded me to stay grounded in creation. It's also helped me broaden my prayer life by introducing me to prayers from so many different, not only Christian traditions.